These videos are getting long, and I got to keep clipping them. I don't know how this could. I might not be able to finish this. We're just getting started, and I'm concerned, man. We should adopt a veil of ignorance. A just society is. This is the man's philosophy. A just. What is just? A just society is one that if you knew everything about it, if you were omniscient, omnipotent, you knew everything, if you were God when it comes to the society, you'd be willing to enter it in a random place. That is what's just. That's how you know a society is perfect. That is what's just. That's how you know a society is perfect. That every single human being, every entity in the society that exists is the exact same as every other entity in the society that exists. Every single human being, every entity in the society that exists is the exact same as every other entity in the society that exists. In that, at any moment in time and place, you would change places with the very person standing next to you, and that is just. In that, at any moment in time and place, you would change places with the very person standing next to you, and that is just. That is our measure of what is a just society. That is our measure of what is a just society. That is what we're striving for. Complete and total equality of every trait, of every color, of every type. You at any moment would switch places with anyone, meaning you don't have a self. No one has self. It is the destruction of self. There is no spoon. There is nothing. There is no self. It is consciousness over as a primacy over existence, and that whole fucking rabbit hole that we've been down with Sam Harris. And then Rawls adds, as if that's not enough, among the essentials. Now, if you want to talk concepts, we're talking about essentials. What is the creation of a concept but its definition of its essentials? Among the essential features of this situation is that no one knows his place in society. No one knows it. You can't know it. You don't know your status. You don't know your status, his class position or social status, nor does anyone know his fortune in the distribution of natural assets. So no one knows your status, and no one can know your wealth, because wealth is a measure of status. So you live in a society where it's impossible. No one can know your status. We're all the same. And no one can know your wealth as an indication of status. Nor does anyone know his fortune. His fortune in the distribution of natural assets and abilities. Nor does anyone know his fortune. His fortune in the distribution of natural assets and abilities. Nor does anyone know his fortune. His fortune in the distribution of natural assets and abilities. Listen to this fucking shit. Listen to this fucking shit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be an asshole. That's what Scenario is. Scenario's an ass, man. Fucking guy. But it upsets me now. Let's think about it. Let's think through it. Just think through it digitally. Ideas are not physical. These are just ideas, right? They have no physical manifestations in reality. One of the essential features of this situation is that no one knows his place in society. There is no class, position, or no social status, no social standing whatsoever. Nor does anyone know his fortune in the distribution of natural assets and abilities. You don't know. You were fortunate in all your success and wealth creation that you may have. Since we're all the same, there's no self. Whatever you have that's better than me is because of your natural distribution of assets and abilities. Nothing do you do to your volitional action of consciousness to achieve objectives. Nothing to get into Harvard and do all those things and to study when everybody else is doing anything. None of that mattered. None of it matters. Because certain people have the fortune in the distribution of natural assets and abilities. Intelligence, strength, and the like. Like, I don't need to keep going on like, this is enough, man. Some people are stronger than other people. I shall even assume that the parties do not know their conceptions of the good or their special psychological propensities. I shall even assume that the parties do not know their conceptions of the good or their special psychological propensities. I shall even assume that the parties do not know their conceptions of the good or their special psychological propensities. This fucking guy. Fuck this guy. I'm sorry. I can't help it, man. I can't help it, man. Come on. And this continues on. Rawls. Not Lou, but John. Jeff. Any of the other Rawlses that are not Lou, as I'm finding out. I shall assume. This guy, I'm just making my assumptions in my thought experiments. That the parties do not know the people, the individuals involved in the society. The individuals involved in society, I'll assume, do not know their conceptions of the good. They don't know what good is. Or their special psychological propensities. That they have no idea of the good and they have no idea what they're good at. They have no ability to determine what is good for them. And even if they did, they don't know what they're good at. It is such a mind motherfucker that you're trying to fuck people with. It is such Kantian destructory philosophy that you're trying to push into Web 3, not me. I'm not trying to push this shit into Web 3. Oh, I don't mean to be mad. I can't help it. It's helping. Thank you. Thank you for writing this. Despite me, I am thankful that I can connect with this type of content to get me to think and think and think and connect and connect and connect with others to think in this reality and to do and invest and create in this reality. Not this Walt Disney fucking thought experiment world of, I shall even assume that the parties do not know their conceptions of the good or their special psychological propensities. Rawls' thought experiment is particularly relevant now. Yeah, you're fucking right. It's crazy right now, thanks to you. Rawls' thought experiment is particularly relevant now because we are standing at precisely the kind of inflection point that the veil of ignorance imagines. No, the veil of ignorance is like, I could have never, no reason, no. Imagine you know nothing about nothing, and imagine this could maybe happen, and now we're getting there. Oh man, this guy's work is prescient. His idea of forgetting all of reality and having a veil of ignorance and thinking what would happen in a perfectly just society where everybody is exactly the exact same and projecting those fantasies into a metaphysically given reality. A metaphysically given reality. You don't even... And now we're hitting Web 3.0, which is a digital meta-reality from the naturally given reality. It's still nature to be commanded must be obeyed. It's still Francis Bacon all the way down the line. But your Rawls, no McNoerson. Represents the opportunity. It's all opportunity to build an entirely new internet. Indeed, entire new economics from scratch. Agree, just not in these. But I agree with that. Yeah. The question then becomes, what kind of internet should we be creating? What kind of internet should we be creating? In the 75-part series of this piece of enjoyable content. This is content. This is K-A-N-T. Content. Man, I need a better... I can't... I need to be able to record and not stop and save and stop and save. It is the... There is no spoon.